Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Prophet's Corner. Proftis. So, my name is Aisha Stearns, and I'm your kingdom financier. And what I do is I help business owners like you who are making money in your business, but don't quite know where your money is going. So I come in, show you where your money is going so that you can finally show a profit in your business and take full control over your finances. All right. So today, what we're going to be talking about, of course, you all know that this month is budget month, right? So the whole theme of this month is budget. Now, most of y'all do not like the word budget, but at the same time, it is what it is. Some individuals call it a spending plan or whatever the case may be. But I think it's time to come to a place to where we call a thing instead of giving it an alternative word, if that makes sense. That's just like, saying the name Jesus. His real name is really Yeshua. So if someone is approaching you, would you rather them to say your name like Asha or Asia, or would you want them to say Aisha? That's how you pronounce my name, Aisha. I'm going to respond to Aisha. Now, sometimes people do say Asha or Asia, and sometimes they get Ashley out of it. But when you pronounce an individual's name properly, it has more meaning, and what that name means, and it has more impact on it, but didn't want to go there. So, anywho, so this is the month of budget, right? And so I titled this topic on today, which is the top 4 ways to creating a solid business budget plan. So we all know that businesses do need to have a budget plan. So what is this budget plan? This budget plan is to get your expenses and get your income and see what you're really going to spend that month. So it's before you spend, like as far as a P&L statement, that's after you spend. But a budget plan is before you spend the money. And then you have forecasting, which is you forecasting how much you're going to spend on a duration of time. It can be quarterly or annually or whatever the case may be. But I really want to come back to how it is important to have a budget plan in place. Now, sometimes, we as individuals, as entrepreneurs, business owners, small business owners, we get into a place to where we find it difficult to stick to a budget plan, right? But that's okay because you can actually bounce back from that, right? But let's go ahead and go into the 4 ways of how you can actually create a rock solid, okay? A rock solid business budget plan. All right. So, um, if you knew of a tool, okay, that could bring your mind, your business, and your finances into harmony, dramatically reducing the financial stress that you might be experiencing, and also making the challenges of business that do come along much more manageable. Would you really take advantage of this tool? So you guessed it. This tool is a budget plan. And so a budget allows you to take control of your finances instead of your finances taking control of you. Okay. So when you, the business owner, creates a budget that supports the dreams of your business while making sure that necessities of your business is being taken care of. All right. Now, what are the one of the ways of how you can create a rock solid business budget plan is that you have to have a starting line, right? And so this right here is a crucial step when it comes to your budget plan, because this is where you're going to list all your income, and this is where you're going to keep track of every single penny you spend. Now, you might think that it's tedious, but it is what it is. You have to come to a place to where before you can know where you're going in your business, you're going to have to start at some point of that starting line. Okay. And so let me do it like this. And so you have to find that starting line. And that starting line is gathering up your income. Well, let's say revenue, gathering up all your revenue, gathering up all your expenses, and see how much you're going to allocate in particular categories, right? And so you'll be surprised to learn where your money is going each month when it comes to your business. So when you sit down, whether it's a piece of paper, I like pen and paper. That's just me. I'm old school. Or whether you have an Excel spreadsheet that does all the calculations for you, but you have to come to a place to where you will actually be surprised where your money is going and how you're spending your money how you're spending your money in your business. This is what I do because I'm a kingdom financier, kingdom of above, right? And so I always get with Holy Ghost. I've always been budgeting with Holy Ghost since I don't know when. And because of me linking up with the one who knows all things, who knows where to allocate money at, who knows the the future, the end before the beginning. Why wouldn't I want to partner up with Ruach in budgeting with him to see where my money needs to go? And so I think sometimes we come to a place to where we take it as, oh, we don't want control, we don't want an individual to have control over our money. But him being Lord over your money is the best thing that can really actually happen to you. Him being Lord over your finances, him being Lord over your business is really the key to how your business can prosper. Now, some people can have the worldly wealth, that is what it is, and you can have that. But when it comes to the born again believer from above of his spirit, capital S, we have the kingdom wealth, okay? And there's a difference. I've been studying this word called mammoth, right? Which is a negative connotation when it comes to money. Go study that word mammoth. That's Mammon, and really study it. I'm still in the process of studying it. It has so much background and the origin of where that word comes from. Look in the book of Daniel, right? And so when you come to place to know where a word originates from, I believe that we will be more careful of the words that come out of our mouth. I believe that we will be more careful of the words that we use in specific situations, right? And so there is a difference between worldly wealth and kingdom wealth, okay? One has control over you, and then the other one, you have control over it. And sometimes you can think that you are in control, but when you dealing with mammon, it's controlling you. Okay. But we're not going to get into that. That's just a little nugget right there. But let's go into the starting point, right? You have to find your starting point when it comes to creating a rock solid budget plan for your business. Now, this awareness alone may change your spending habits for the better. We have to come to the truth table, right? We have to have them tough cookie conversations to where we know what we're spending and what is the habit and how we're feeding that spending habit when it comes to our business. Now you can use this, even though I'm more focused on the small business owners, but you can use this as well as a household. You know, household need budgets as well. Okay, so make sure you know where your money is going. But the only way you're going to know where your money is going is if you start at that starting line. And the starting line is creating a budget. And how you're going to create that rock solid budget plan for your business is the start line. It's starting. Okay. Now, the second thing the second way and where you can create a rock solid business budget plan is using credit wisely and sparingly. Okay, so remember when you was in college, right? Remember when you was in college, and this is how I got my first credit card. It was actually in college, right? And so I signed up for it not knowing what I was getting myself into. I forgot the credit limit that I had, but I think it was in the thousands, maybe 2,000, whatever case may be. But we have to make sure that we teach our kids how to properly utilize credit. Now, there is a credit month that I'm gonna be talking about credit, talking about the good of credit and actually talking about the bad of credit. Credit is nothing but a game. And if you don't know how to play the game, you're going to get got. Okay. And we don't want you to get got. Okay. And so we have to come to a place to where we don't allow ourselves to be trapped when it comes to the credit game, right? So they give us large spending amounts to where we actually can't afford it. And it gives us this temptation of allowing us to have something now, but we can pay for it later, right? Excuse me. But it's targeting, come on with it. It's targeting individuals that want to live a lifestyle that they cannot afford, right? Excuse me. But when it comes to your business and using credit, there's a particular way that you use it. We're not going to get in that, but we're talking to the individuals. I'm talking to the individuals that are using credit and don't know how to use it with discipline and with wisdom, right? So this is what it says right here. Credit used properly can provide convenience and a peace of mind knowing that you have been covered. So take that as a rule of thumb, right? Credit cards is not for emergencies. We have been taught that credit cards is for emergencies. That's not the case. How can you use a credit card for emergency when you don't have the credit card? Excuse me, when you don't have the money in the first place. So you don't have the money, then you're putting it on a credit card, and then you're figuring out how you're going to pay it later, right? And then you're not disciplined enough to know how to play it or even develop the wisdom or gain the wisdom and develop the certain strategies of how to pay it, right? So again, take it as a rule of thumb. There is a way to play the credit game, but this is not what I'm talking about. Talking about the individuals that do not know how to play the credit game, right? But that's in another time in the month that we're going to talk about credit, right? So don't allow the temptation to overwhelm you to live outside of your means, right? So when it comes to your business and they have business credit cards and you really think that you need something, I have done it myself in the in the early stages of my business, I thought I needed this, 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 right? And come to find out, I didn't even need all that crap, right? And there are some things that you actually need, but there are some things that you really don't need. This is why I go back to what I said at the beginning. Budget with Holy Ghost. Because Holy Ghost know what you need, and he knows what your business does not need. So when you come to a place of getting to an relationship with him, he's going to let you know what you need in your business, right? So the fewer credit cards that you sign up for, the less that you are tempted to spend. Now there are people with a whole bunch of credit cards. I remember, I guess eavesdropping, whatever the case may be. I think I was at UPS. This was a long time ago, and this woman said she had 9 credit cards. Right. What I'm saying is that if you're not disciplined enough to manage those credit cards and allow those credit cards to benefit you, don't sign up for all them credit cards and get yourself into debt, because it's not going to work out for you. You might be an individual that just can't manage credit cards, and that's fine and dandy. It is what it is. But if that is you, just don't deal with credit cards. Just wait until you have the cash to get what you need, right? So this is one of the ways that you can create a rock solid budget plan, is when you don't have them credit cards in place. Because this is what you have to realize: when you're making them payments to the credit card company and they're adding interest every single month to the remaining balance that you have, little bit is going on the principal, a lot is going on the entrance, right? And so they're making millions of dollars when it comes to the entrance. So you have to be in a place to where you're being careful with that. And then you're adding the credit card payments to your budget plan. What if you was paying $500 towards credit cards, right? Instead of paying them $500, few going to the principal, a lot going to the entrance. Don't just use the freaking credit cards, or don't even just sign up for the credit cards, and just use cash or your debit card. Again, a rule of thumb, not talking about the credit card game, because there is a game to play that benefits you. Talking to the individuals, I know I'm being repetitive, talking to the individuals that unfortunately you do not know how to manage credit cards properly. So if this is you, my suggestion, just don't deal with credit cards. Now, another way that you can build that rock solid business budget plan is to keep your accounts balanced. Okay? Keep your accounts balanced. What I mean by that? Now, this is one of the most productive habits that you can have, that you can incorporate in your business financial success plan, is keeping balanced books, keeping track of everything that goes in and everything that goes out. So we know it's tax season. I still need to get my taxes done, need to hit up CJ. But at the same time, we have to make sure that our bookkeeping is in order, because when you're giving it to the CPA, whoever the case may be that you're dealing with, how are they going to know how to save you money when your books are not even in order? So it's important to have your books in order. It's important for your accounts to be balanced. You get what I'm saying? For those accountants who at the end of the month they have to balance the books. You get what I'm saying? So if you have a strategy and plan, to where you're keeping your books in order on a daily, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, I don't say quarterly, basis, you will be in a much better place, right? And so keep your books in order. When you're keeping track of what you spend, you actually feel less tempted to waste money on purchases that you flat out don't need, or them impulse purchases, to where you're actually spending first and thinking later. We want to think, we want to put a hold on it. They say, what they say, 24 to 48 hours if your mind's still on it. But at the same time, you can override. This mind is powerful. You can override something in your mind and you will still want that thing, right? So, but you have to, yeah, I go back to the Holy Ghost. Can't do nothing without him. I go back to him. I go back to him. So if you allow your mind to be renewed, to the mind of Christ, he's going to lead you and guide you with his spirit of how to spend your money, okay? So you'll always know when your money is almost out. What I mean by that is where if you're allocating your money properly, you're saying, okay, I only have this much money in this category. It's almost out. Just like that, right? So this can save you a lot of money, overdraft fees. We know these banks. Now, there are some banks that are eliminating overdraft fees, right? But most of them, honey, they making millions of dollars just off of overdraft fees, okay? So when you keep your accounts balanced, it allows you to save money when it comes to them overdraft fees, and then it just saves you headache. Period. Who wants to be in financial stress? Who wants to have a migraine and headache when it comes to these overdraft fees or whatever the case may be, right? So we want to make sure that your books are in order so that you can have that rock solid business budget plan that's going to allow your business to flourish even the more. All right. Now, last but not least, another way that is going to allow you to create that rock solid business budget plan is to reduce those expenses. All right. So, tracking your income and your expenses, a way that you can do it is that you can increase your revenue or lowering your expenses, right? So, we all know when it comes to corporations, right? They're always trying to figure out how can we decrease our expenses? How can we lower our expenses? You get what I'm saying? This is why sometimes when layoffs work happens, they're trying to reduce expenses, right? You have to understand there's a budget plan in place. Uh, uh, um, Apple, $1 trillion company, you get what I'm saying? Still has a budget plan in place. Still trying to figure out how can we reduce expenses so that we can profit, put that money into our pocket even the more. So when all the expenses are paid, we have more profits to do what we desire to do, right? So once you have a good grasp on what you're spending and where your money is going, you find places to cut back and put money you save into a savings account or to wherever you want your money to go as far as pleasurement or gratification, right? So most people like, oh, I don't want to cut back. There are some what can I say, coaches or whatever the case may be, advisors or whatever the case may be. Oh, you don't have to cut back on nothing or whatever the case may be, but that's a bunch of booty, right? You have to come to the truth realization is that if you don't learn how to cut back, it is what it is. That's just like an obese person. If you don't learn how to cut back eating food, what's going to happen? You're going to have complications or you're going to die. Same thing with your business. Your business gonna have complications, or your business gonna go bankrupt and close. Do you want that? I'm pretty sure that you don't. Okay, so take this right here as reduce those expenses, but then at the same time learn how you can actually grow and increase your revenue as well. All right. So those were the four ways that you can start creating a rock solid business budget plan. So number one was find a starting line. Number two was using credit wisely and sparingly. Keeping all your books in order, your accounts in order, right? And then reducing those expenses. Okay. So let's see. I want to show. Yes. All right. So make sure y'all go to bit.ly/ keeping your books. Okay, download this today. Okay, so what is this? This is an ebook on 7 mistakes small business owners make that's keeping them broke. Who want to be broke in their business? What was the purpose of you getting into business in the first place? Right? Maybe you don't want to work that 9 to 5. You want to work for yourself, or maybe you want to bring in extra income at the same time working the 9 to 5. Go download this ebook. It is complimentary free. bit.ly/ keeping your books. Go ahead and download it today. All right. And so this is going to help you keep your books in order. Okay. Those are one of the ways that you can build that or create that rock solid business budget plan. All right. Oh, this. Okay. So next Thursday, I am doing a free workshop, a free budget plan workshop, right? And so what this workshop is going to be about? It's going to be about what I'm going to show you is quick budget fixes that will help your business save money when you have blown your revenue, right? So what this is really going to be about with the workshop pertaining to budget, because we in the month of budget. The theme is budget this month, right? And so y'all know that budget is my favorite subject. Okay, favorite subject when it comes to financing, or not, excuse me, not financing, finances, right? And so I'm gonna be showing you a couple of fixes that quick fixes when it comes to your budget that you can fix, right? When you have blown your revenue, right? When you just blew it out the water and you ain't got no more money. You get what I'm saying? So this is going to happen next Thursday, which is March the 31st, and it's going to be 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, right? So I want you to register now. How you register now? Just hit me in my DM, and that's how we gonna register. I'm gonna put you in a particular Facebook group, and it's free again, and we'll go from there. All righty. So I believe that's it. It surely is. All right. So I thank y'all for joining. I thank y'all for coming to the broadcast. I really thank you for tuning in and listening to me. If you're just catching the broadcast, sorry that I missed you, but go ahead and do hashtag replay so you can let me know that you did stop by, and so that I can say hello. But till then, next week is going to be the workshop, right? More than likely, I will not go live on my personal page. I will go live with the workshop in a particular Facebook group, right? And so this Facebook group is really going to be a community that I'm building for individuals, for business owners, as well as um, I'm getting hold on, brain freeze, as well as household individuals who want to make sure that they are in control of their money instead of money being in control of them. All right. So we're going to be the money monarchs. Okay. All righty. So I believe that's it, but I will catch y'all on next Thursday, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Again, thank you for joining.